New York City, early 2000s. I was born in 96, but I grew up in New York City in the early 2000s. You know, I knew you had to be tough, you had to be strong, you had to learn life very quickly. You know, me growing up, I was the kind of kid, you know, I tried to be fair, compassionate, which, you know, you learn quickly that may not be the right thing. Like, you have to have a little bit of balance, you know. You kind of got to walk the line, walk that thin line. But, you know, I learned that you had to be smart, you had to pay attention to your surroundings and stuff like that. You know, me growing up, I wasn't really into gangs, I wasn't into cliques, I wasn't into crews and groups and nothing like that. You know, I'll be quite honest, sports never really found me. I never really found sports either. Like, I wrestled a little bit here and there. I was into like the combative sports and skateboarding and stuff like that. And, you know, I was just like an adventurous kid. And it really, you know, I just lived life like that. So these things kind of never really came into my horizon until later on. But, you know, I knew at some point I wanted to be something bigger than myself. I knew that I wanted to get into something deeper. I wanted a little bit more out of life, a little bit more out of myself. And, you know, ultimately that led me to the Marine Corps. So, yeah. Life in the Marine Corps was really cool, really cool. You know, the standards that they set are high, and it's not gonna lower for you. It's not coming down to you. It's gonna be there. It's gonna stay there, and you know, it almost gets worse over time. And you know, to be completely honest with you, I didn't know exactly how I felt about that, like me being young and all, but I'll be honest with you, that was like the greatest thing to ever happen to me. Like, me having to wake up every morning and like earn your spot and meet your standard. I mean, it saved my life ultimately. It was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. And I'm so grateful for that. You know, it gave me structure. It taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about others. I was in this like university of like self-discipline and just having a better mentality, and it really saved my life. I think that's something that people need in their life in one way or another. Maybe not going and joining the military or being a Marine or nothing like that, but at some point in your life, we all need to like set a hard standard for ourselves, where it's like every day you're waking up and you have to meet these non-negotiable standards, and especially at that young age. I mean, it's super important. After leaving the military, you know, I faced the challenge that many veterans face, finding yourself, rediscovering your purpose. But you know, I realized through exercise and training, just going back to that baseline, you can find yourself again, and you can find yourself in any point, no matter where you are in life. And I think through a calculated approach. You have to do it through a calculated approach, because it's how you find who you are and rediscover yourself in that moment, you know? And that's kind of how this came about. And like, don't get me wrong, like I understand that not everyone needs like that rigorous of a training schedule, but having some elements of focus and just stability and resilience, you can really rediscover yourself and you can really find what's possible. It really clears out those avenues mentally. And I think that's like one of the key components of the way I design my programs. It has all of this in mind, you know, and these are the most important aspects of building yourself, building character. It's about meeting you where you're at and finding you right there and trying to expand from right there.